Welcome back, wonderful people of the internet and all those therein, to the Triumvirate system once more. And today we're going over, well, a bit more of a in-depth topic to ourselves, in that we actually have an idea of what we're doing for once. Shock horror. But today's subject matter will be a verbal tour of our inner world, as best we can give at the present time, of course. So it's going to be going back and forth between myself and Harry over who is doing what and who is going over who and what. If that makes any sense, I can assure you it will as the video progresses. But without further ado, here is the tour of us. Hello. So yeah. Going over half the system, and Vincent's doing the other half, so there we go. But I'm also going to cover the, entrance way, is a way of putting it. So, there is a central, gathering point for everyone, and that's, what we call the auditorium. I've got headphones in. Yeah, it's not really an auditorium at all, it's just the only word we had for it. And it's sort of like a octagon? That's an octagon, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, octagon. 8 sides. Yeah. And then it's... So, the 8 sides, and then it's 3 steps down. And then the floor. And then in the middle is the pillar, where you go there. And if you're on the pillar, that's generally how you're fronting whoever's holding into the pillar, the palantir on the pillar sort of thing. You hold that, yep, yeah, and then everybody's doors are ringed around it. So yeah, that's the main entrance gate auditorium, whatever, where we gather if you want to be near the front and see whatever's going on that way, or yeah, I'm not sure what else to cover on that one. But then my room, yeah, it's not really a room. My apartment, my section, is front door, steps leading up to door, living room, bathroom, and then my room at the very end. The door at the top of the stairs leads into the living room but doesn't lead out. Work that one out. Vincent once threw a boomerang and went up, and then it just looped. It just kept going. So yeah, the living room, very nice, got a TV and some books and kitchen, what sort of things you expect to have in a living room, I guess. Very sweaty hands right now. Sorry, too much information. But yeah, that's that. And then there's obviously my room, bedroom, what do you expect? Yeah. Not really sure what else to go over on that one. And I will be going over first. Sam. So, Sam's section of the inner world is messy. He has essentially just a one-room apartment, as it were. Kitchen, bedroom, and living room all in one area, and it is a tip. He keeps everything sprawled around wherever he so chooses to throw it. It's stressful walking into there and seeing a complete mess, but I'm sure it's an organised chaos. It's probably not. It's probably just things strewn about that he can't be bothered to pick up. But what are we going to do? It's his room. He can do whatever he likes. And then we've got Quinn's section, because they don't really have a room, and I genuinely have difficulty perceiving Quinn. Like, I'm not sure why, but my brain, it's my brain. I just, like, can't see that they're there for some reason. Like, not all the time. Sometimes I'll get glimpses and be able to, like, actually see them, but most of the time it's like, it just reminds me of the Dwight meme. Just thinking about that altar, and they just pop up. Fuck. So yeah, Quinn's room section is literally just a big wide open field. It's like rolling field, open sky, door to get in and out. That's basically it. Who knows why? Who knows why for any of this? But yeah, that's Quinn. It's not much to go over. Kind of like them, to be honest. They're really hard to describe. Caliban. Caliban's section of the inner world is probably the most different from everybody else's. It is vast, void of not really anything in it, except for floating rocks and islands that you can jump between, step between wherever you want to, however you wish to travel. But generally speaking, not really much there at all. It's not really any way of putting it. It's just a bit empty, and there are floating rocks in a big black void where devoid of life and action. Carlyle's section of the inner world is really not what you'd expect, considering like they are the happiest and most energetic person in the world. They're, first of all, you go in there and you're coming onto a cliff face sort of thing, like wind and rain and just lashing it down. It's just fucking pissing it down, to be honest. And then I need to put in like internet dial-up noises every time I take a long break. So it's just like, so yeah, you go up the road, the path, I guess, and you get to the lighthouse, because he lives in a lighthouse. I don't know why. And it's just really nice and cozy in there, though. Like, it's always warm and dry, even though, you know, it's fucking pissing it down outside. Why would you want to go outside? It's fucking shit. But, like, yeah, nice, cozy, sort of inviting lighthouse on a stormy cliff. And it's such a massive contrast to compared to, you know, look at the Meet the Altars video. And he's genuinely that positive and happy all the goddamn time. And that's what he lives in. Work out the connection there, because there's got to be something weird going on. I have no idea. Nathaniel's section of the inner world is, well, as you will see, quite similar to my own, in that it is a large ballroom, I think is the right word of putting it. Big pillars, checkered floor, reaching up at the far end with a double staircase to a balcony area where I presume he likes to reside in his time off, and do whatever it is that he does in his free time. Probably nothing too exciting, to be honest, as that is the extent of it in essence. Similar in a way to Sam's, I suppose, in that it is more contained, but on the other hand, it is also a bit more opulent, to an extent. It is a bit more refined, which suits him. If you see him, you would understand, as he does like to wear the occasional, I say occasional, almost always just suit and tie, at the very least. Very very well developed sense of clothes. But that is essentially Nathaniel's room. He has got a large one, but not a very full room, as it were. It just for the simple reason of there isn't a vast amount in it for the size. And finally, my section of the inner world, which is, if you ask me, the best, as of course it is mine. So first of all, entering through the door, you're greeted with the front gate to the mansion. Were you expecting anything different? Entering into the mansion, you get, of course, the front hall, which contains bits and pieces, artwork, furniture, so on and so forth. And then, of course, there is the various rooms that you would expect. Living rooms, dining rooms, kitchens, multiple of each, several bedrooms, bathrooms, of course. The private gallery / library, my own private quarters, of course. As I have said, private. And it's very nice to live within, not something that would be easily attainable out here, not without a few £1,000,000, at the very least. And of course, staffed, because why wouldn't it be? Staffing is a little bit different as it would be NPCs. I know some systems don't like that term because negative connotations that we are just making it up and it's all for roleplay. No. NPCs are just little things that are within the inner world that exist. People without faces, people without personality. They're out there. Not every system's going to have them in the inner world. Most don't. In my experience, at least, and I am only ever able to speak from my personal experience, of course. But for me, they are automata, or mechanical men. Usually not entirely humanoid either. So, if anybody has watched Doctor Who and the Clockwork Robots from the SS Marie Antoinette, I believe it was, or no, not the Marie Antoinette, the Clockwork Robots from those anyway. I think along those lines of clockwork automata, usually using different appendages and limbs to walk around on, spider legs and cogs and legs and different things of that nature. And that is essentially who runs and staffs the mansion that keep me fed and entertained. Of course, when I am residing in there, I will generally be within my library and study and just relaxing, enjoying myself, looking back over memories and reading books and such, and so on and so forth, I should say. But that is, in essence, my wonderful section of the inner world, such as it is. And then Kane's section of the inner world is probably the biggest and most detailed, I'd say. Probably Vincent would say otherwise, but Vincent doesn't like Kane, so fucking I don't know. But I think we went over it at least. That Kane has like an open field ranch with all his cows and chickens and so on and so forth, and like the stream that you can just go in and fish by and sit or paint or whatever it is that he does. And yeah, it's just nice, sort of like constantly just sort of like springtime weather. So you never like feel like you're on a farm. You just feel like you're in a nice little section of the countryside, which is nice. Just nice sitting in there, to be honest. I mean, like even if he's not around or he doesn't want, or he's just like doing whatever it is he's doing in his house, because he's also got like a house on the ranch. He doesn't just live under the stars like a fucking caveman. Sorry. I've gone again, haven't I? Yeah, it's just nice. Just generally quite nice. Yeah. So, probably not the longest video we could have done. Probably could have gone into loads more detail. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're gonna do next. Just because we just seem to record spontaneously, and let's be honest, we're not a big name YouTuber, and I think most of the like big stuff at the moment has been covered. Like, aside from like showing off more about ourselves, like I feel like all the information could be found is already out there. Like Dissociated's got a lot of good information. The entropy system, multiplicity and me, Bobo and Spark. They're the big names that you go to, and then you stumble across people like us who are just verbal vomit into the microphone and seeing what sticks, and that's a horrible mental image. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we'll. If anyone's got any suggestions, throw them our way. We'll probably do a video on them, and who knows what we'll do next. Probably I'll do a video at some point. I'll get bored at like midnight or something and just be like, hey, I need to vlog, because I could go over in more detail like what's been happening the last year. Oh, I know we're going to do dating and D&D. That's the thing that's going to be done as soon as we've written down some bullet points. But yeah, game with the hand. Always with the hand. I wonder how many times, because I know it's been pointed out every time, that Vincent does the Boromir. One does not simply walk into Mordor, but Vincent does. But yeah, that was us going over in really shoddily, probably bad detail about the inner world. Hope you've enjoyed us rambling, and I hope everybody has a pretty good day, and don't do what Vincent did last night and eat an entire tray of sticky toffee pudding on his own, because he's got no impulse control. Don't put food in front of him, he'll just eat it. It's a nightmare. Help. But until next time, I guess.